And welcome back to the Kyle Sucks and Lynn Show. I'm happy because I played golf today. So if all you wondering, reset the counter. We're good again. The depression counter has been reset. No more. We have played golf in March. That now marks every month this year so far we have played golf. And I'm going to go ahead and throw one out there right now. I will play golf in every single month of this year of the Fox, I think maybe, the Toad maybe, in 2026. I will play golf every single month. I've already made it through the couple hard months. The rest of the year, through October's a breeze. Then I just got to play once in November and once in October. So I'm going to go ahead and put on this podcast right now on this airwaves right here, right? Going across all this great state, all this great country, all this great world right here. I will play golf every single month. And like some of you guys are saying, hey, dude, you're crazy. And I understand that might be crazy. But it is what it is, people. It is what it is. Welcome back. We got a great show for you today. We're going to do a little Arnold Palmer recap. We're going to do a little players... I was going to say player invitational. The players look ahead. A little Australian Grand Prix recap. A little TGL recap. And then some other whatever bullshit. And then we got a special guest that may be on tonight. I'm starting to record this. And he will be popping on the middle of the recording if he does. So we'll see. But we got a good show for you today. So settle back and enjoy. Starting off first, Arnold Palmies. Arnie Palmy alert. Arnie Palmy alert. Shout out Arnold Palmer. I have my glass of Arnold Palmer in celebration of the tournament. Glug, 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 glug. So I just actually finished watching the highlight recap, and then it's on right now actually, the replay. But I played golf, and so when I left today, I played golf at 3 o'clock this afternoon. When I left, Berger was up by 5 shots. So I was like, day's over. I bet on Colin this morning, fluttering a little bit. But so Berger ends up taking it, and Akshay ends up going to a playoff, right? I think Berger seems like he flounders a little bit at the end there. Triple putts, maybe a little birdie or bogey I'm hearing. And they go to a playoff and Akshay wins in the playoff. So, to be honest with you guys, I'm going to say hand up. Hand up, right? I played golf. I watched Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday morning, and I missed, which was probably the most interesting part of the tournament. So I have to get better, right? I'm just going to sit out there, and it's good that some of these bigger tournaments are early in the year because I do like my Sunday golf. I do love my Sunday playing golf there for people. So congrats to Akshay, 3rd career win. I always forget how young he is. Akshay's 24 years old still. Born January 31st, 2002. And everything rocks. Everything people say about Akshay is he's just an absolute grinder from when he was on the Corn Ferry to now playing in Monday qualifiers. You know, he's on the TGL. Shout out TGL, Akshay. So, great win for him this week. I think a lot of people's pick was for Akshay to have one of the majors this one. If he plays how he did today and struck the ball like he did, especially the back half, not the first half of today. The highlights of the first half, what I watched before I left today, dude was not playing well, right? I would say he was struggling, finding the center of the club face. Turned it around completely, based on the highlights I was watching. And could have missed the center of the club face, right? And was dropping it next to the holes. I think that one in 15 where he literally boop, boop, and right next to the hole and has a 2-footer. So picks it up. So congratulations to Akshay Bhatia. Great win. And if his game is going to be in full-fledged, man, I can't imagine this will be his only win this year. I think he's right now he is if he keeps striking the ball and may or may not be grounding his putter. Is he grounding his putter? I don't know. I've heard it put out there that he is grounding his putter. I'm not saying that he is or he isn't. But I'm like, if we need to do a test, right? What they should do is put like a little zapper thing. Remember when you would get those pens, right? And you click the pens and it would zap you? They should put one of those in all the ends of the clubs so that if he is grounding his putter, it zaps him. And then you know. So there's no people that don't bitch online. So I see all you little people bitching online about Akshay. And I'm not going to say I also was not bitching about Akshay, right? I'll go ahead and say I think I sent a tweet out today that said, motherfucker is anchoring his putter. So hand up. Let's say hand up again. Hand up number 2. But great win. So great win by Akshay. Sucks for Daniel Berger. I forgot about it, but they showed in the highlights. Daniel Berger was the one I remember someone did it last year. It broke his hand on the bunker shot, or he was over right by the bunker shot. And so I think they said he broke his bone right before the knuckle in his hand. It took him out for almost a whole year, all of last year at least. So gutted. I'm sure for him he's got to be gutted going into that. Some great golf by him though, right? I would say, especially he was almost a 72-hole winner. So I would very expect Daniel Berger not to be his only chance at a tournament this year. An elevated event especially, they don't come around easy. So I would imagine he's got to be feeling it a little bit today. But still, an overall great Arnold Palmer, and I am excited. I'm going to, because I am a true sicko, I'm sure I will be watching the rest of the highlights tonight as I wait for this podcast, wait for this to get uploaded. But great Arnold Palmer Invitation. I think it's a fun course when especially seems like when it's playing like it was today, when it I think Scotty might have called it clown golf. I think I've seen some things like that. But the greens are running like crazy, right? So when the greens are running like that, there, it's a very hard golf course, and so let's hope that the PGA Tour, let's hope the U.S. Open can be like that, because that was when those courses are running fast and they're not 30 under, right? Let's see, the top 30 were under par, and after that, it was everyone else was above par. So this teeth definitely had some. This course definitely had some teeth, which was good. Some notable mentions today. Obviously Akshay for winning, but I wrote a name up here. Will win major this year. Cam Young. Okay, I didn't pick him this week, right? Wait, did I? I did not. I did not. No, I did not. I did not pick him this week. But Cam Young, T3, great week by Cam Young. He looks like he's really turning into form. His putting looks really, really nice. He can roll that rock when he's playing well. I really thought he was going to kind of do it after the Ryder Cup of how good he looked. Kind of looked like he kind of was found something about himself, kind of found like into form, and looked great this week. So excited to see him, still have him, and as we get into the majors, he may be one of those picks for one of those 4 majors as we come down the road to those for sure. Notable mentions: Colin Morikawa, just solo 5, 11 under. That was a great week by Colin, and also, we're all on. We will get there, people. I know you guys are excited for the gambling picks, but we will get there. And we're here, okay? You guys all want it. We're here because I got a couple big ones, okay? I think the Rory pick doesn't count. We're going to say that was an NA because he withdrew from an injury. And I can't control injuries. There's only so much I can do. And so another, hand up, I picked Scotty to win. Hand up. That is what it is. I picked Scotty to win. He did not win. Hand up, right? So that's a loss, all right? The rest of these, though, I made you guys a little bit of Kiz Cash. You're watching. I made you a little Kiz Cash, and you're watching. You're watching. I made you a little Kiz Cash this week. So I said top 10 Colin Morikawa. 5. Win. Dub, whatever you got that at. The lines sometimes aren't available Sunday nights, so I don't know what it is. I need to start writing down what they're going to be. And then Jordan Spieth to make the cut, which they didn't do a cut. Again, I picked another tournament, and I keep saying that they're going to do cuts at these, and they don't do cuts at these. Oh, no, they did do a cut. I lied. Shout out Jordan Spieth also. So Jordan Spieth, T11, really rounding into form. Him and Ricky are really rounding into form. So Jordan Spieth, that's another winner for you guys. Put on the board. So 2 for 3 this week. Not another bad week, right? Not another bad week. And this week I'm going to find what the numbers are at so I can start keeping track of those. And we might even redo some of the boards here because I'm not bad gambling from your boy. I will definitely take that. I am PSA, I am too poor to gamble. So I've not been placing all of these wagers. Like I said, I'll put both hands up on those. I've not been placing all my wagers. I understand it's a gambling rule that I cannot give out picks that I do not place myself. But I am very poor right now, okay? All of my money is going into getting this podcast and this business run up to the ground. So shout out Prize Picks, shout out DraftKings, shout out somebody to sponsor me so I can start gambling, okay? We want to fund the business and we want to gamble, okay? That's what we want to do. That's what we love, people. We love to gamble. We love to play golf, okay? That's what we want to do. Shout out little boo. So shout out Jordan. If you know me and if you've listened to this podcast, you know Jordan Spieth has been a fan. I've been a fan of his for going back now many years. Really ever since the Masters that he kind of, how do you say nicely, shat down your leg. He had an unmitigated circumstances that came to his, that were slightly his doing and resulted in a very negative outcome. He shit down his leg on the Masters on the 12th hole and put in the water, and it made me so upset. I think I cried. But it's great to see Jordan rounding the tournament. He is, the most fun golfer to watch, right? You watch Jordan hit a shot, you turn away, you turn back, he's in a bush, and there's people else watching a bush. You turn back away, he's under the rocks, and he's hitting out of the rocks. You turn away, right, and he's up and down for par, right? So, shout out Jordan. I would love to pick you for the Masters. Love to have Jordan have another Masters. A little bit of rounding into form. And we may even, I don't know if he got it next week. If he got it next week, we're going to take a flyer on him for a top 10. So shout out some negative shout outs. Keegan Bradley, again. Keegan just doesn't seem like he's got his game right now. It's unfortunate. But he looks like something's going on with Keegan. Again, +5. Did not have it this week again. Unfortunate for Keegan. Unfortunate for Rory. I don't know what happened. They said when I was listening to the Live from the Kill House, they were saying, shout out No Laying Up, Live from the Kill House. Also, if you like golf, you like post-golf tournaments, they always go live right after the tournaments. Fantastic. They talk about everything. And they were talking on the podcast that Rory warmed up and then heard something in his back, immediately heard something in his back and went to the range, hit some balls, and said, I'm not feeling so well. And kind of shut it down at that point. And so, hold on, let's see if our special guest is ready. So he hit some balls, got ready, and wasn't really feeling it. WD. So, sucks for Rory, especially coming into this stretch, right? This next month stretch. Is a month that you want to be healthy for. You want to be playing some golf. You want to be playing some golf before we get to the Masters. So really would like to see Rory get into a little bit more better of a little better form as you come in here. Hopefully he's fine. Obviously he's defending his title of the Players last year. That was still a great Monday finish with JJ. So we'll see if he cheats up this week. Sad or not sad. Great to see Justin Thomas back. Tough 2 days for him. I think he was plus 14, plus 7 both days. Coming back from injury, that's what I mean. Hard to expect anything less. Coming back from I think 6 months out. But I'm sure he'll get it rounded in the form. But do not expect him to be doing anything lately. Some people that have been struggling, JJ's Spawn's been struggling, which is a little bit weird to see, especially with how good he was last year. And then the same thing with Patrick Cantlay. I think he did well 2 weeks ago. He has his own website for some reason. That's crazy. Let's see. Let's see what Patrick Cantlay did. Yeah, so his best was T14 at Pebble, T37 cut. So I mean, his best finish this year is T13. So not a I would say amazing year for Cantlay, especially one that you would usually be a steady Eddie. You wouldn't usually expect him to be so far down, but he's missing a lot of cuts. So someone to say on the miss side, definitely. Minwoo right up there again at 10. Sahith again up there at 10. Ricky at 8 at T9. Some great weeks. So that will bring us into the next topic is the Players Championship. So highly contested debate, right? And that's gonna be the first question we have for our special guest. And I want to see what he says. Is the Players a major, right? That's what we're gonna say is the first. I don't want a fan guide. I want to go to a gambling website, my friends. So the Players. So I think the most highly contested, right? I think what everyone they're gonna be talking, Brando's gonna be blabbing about all week. On Live From, but shout out Live From. I love Live From coverage, right? I love watching the boys talk from the desk and look at the course in the background. I like when the course just kind of nuzzled up, sleeping, looking at the course. Is the Players the 5th major, really the 6th major behind Live Attadale? Is the Players a major, right? Is it the People's major? Or is that W Management, right? I will argue that we give a shit about some of these tournaments more than others from how much ownership and how much care and preparation and give a shitness that the players give a shit, right? I think the same goes to TGL, right? I think it's starting to grow. It's starting to seem like it's picking up steam a little bit because the players care, right? Because they were talking about how they prepped over the season this year. They talked about how they went to a hit and giggle to a little bit more than that now, right? Where they want to win every single week, right? And so it's only going to go as much as some of those players, as some of the people putting in to that are going to give it, right? And I would argue that's what makes some of the majors so much fun, right? It's obviously Augusta's Augusta, right? But the people talking about how they're making, like, their pinnacle of the season needs to be playing the best for Augusta. How that's their favorite tournament to win. How they even love stepping on the grounds, right? Them talking about it is what gives them that ownership. And I'm not gonna lie, it seems like the players has some of that give a shitness to it. And no, it's nowhere near Augusta National, right? It's nowhere near. All right, if we're ranking majors, I'm saying Masters, the Open, U.S. Open, PGA Championship, right? So, and then there's a drop off, right? And some could argue, and I could probably even argue, there's a drop off after the 3 on the list, right? I would say it's Masters, Open, U.S. Open, and then it's kind of like the redheaded stepchild a little bit of the PGA Championship. And it just seems like the people give a shit about the players a lot, you know? And so if we're making arguments, I personally love the players, right? And I think I've said about every single golf tournament that I've made this podcast for, but I do love golf. But I love this string of golf, right? I mean, we had the time change yesterday. The players to me is always like, okay, we're here. It is golf season, baby, right? I mean, after this tournament, it's Augusta that we're starting to really amp up for. That's the next elevated event, right? But being a fan, I think I always gravitate. I was talking about this yesterday a little bit for you guys. I gravitate towards golf courses that have holes that are in your brain, iconic. Put it on the wall, paint the picture. We love this hole. We're gonna do the live from coverage with this hole in the background. We're playing this hole in the simulator. You know what I mean? And examples of that, right? Easy of like, okay, you could do, I mean, 9 of the holes of Augusta you could say that for, right? So obviously we have that set aside, right? But I mean, I don't think you could not think about, you know, the old course and you can't have 18, 1, the road, you know, 17, right? So like put those aside, right? And then you're going to have the courses, the Pebbles of the world, right? Where you're going to have 7, right? I guess even Pebble has a couple, right? Pebble is 18, right? Of it coming down to that par 5. But really, Pebble has the number 7, right? And, you know, Riviera, right? Riviera 18 also, right? But to me is where I think that's where I love the players, because 17 on the players is seeming like it's what's the non, I want to say magic. It seems like it's like we have the 16th at TPC Scottsdale, right, where everyone going freaking out and it's like kind of compact, everyone's over you and they have all these grandstands built up, and it seems like it's like that a little bit for TPC Scottsdale. But it's more of like the people and the atmosphere and the amount of people that are packed into this, and the risk reward of this, right? TPC Scottsdale different, right? You flub it, right? People come short. You're chipping out next to a bunch of rocks, and you're about to go kiss a lizard, and you got a bunch of snakes down there making babies, right? But the 17 at TPC Scottsdale is so much more risk reward. And I love seeing those balls hit the green and doop, 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 rolling in or hitting the front edge and coming back in, or just people just missing it completely, right? Because what I think then it brings up one of the most stressful shots, and that is that next shot. That next shot still, where they come around, they come over the island green. The next shot is not it's still it's a difficult shot over the water, and you still have to land it up short, or it's going to run off too. So what a great hole for drama towards the end, right? We could easily see someone coming up there with a 2-stroke lead on Sunday afternoon a week from now. We'd easily be talking about in a week how that person duffed it in the water on 17, and the tournament flipped, right? I want to say that's what happened last year. Was it 17 that JJ put on the water? I want to say it was. Who knows? It might have been. So that should be great this week. I know at TPC Scottsdale they have shout out Road to the Masters. I will be grinding some Road to the Masters this week, trying to set the course record also at TPC Scottsdale this week, so shout out that. But now we go into the long-awaited segment. Ba-ba-da-da! Welcome to Kyle's Picks Corner. I am Kyle. And we are back, remember, people. And we're just going to explain how we gamble on this show. Remember, we don't gamble with the full brain and the full numbers, right? We are little data people, but we're mostly a vibes show. So these are vibes picks, right? It's how we're feeling. It's how we're really, what we're in the atmosphere, what's pumping around, what quantum mechanics are. And then they're going to boom, right? So take these for what it's worth, right? But just know, these are picks from an expert. So take it for what it's worth. And I feel like it'd be dumb not to pick him. I can't pick him to win again because he seems like he is struggling just a little bit. But right now it's minus 116 for Scotty to finish top 5. So we're just going to put that out there. Scotty top 5 minus 116 on the DraftKings Sportsbook right now is what I'm seeing it as. Rory's out there, but I don't know if he's going to be hurt. Who had a great Sunday, which I did not mention, is Ludwig Ulberg. Had a great Sunday. And the players would fit his eye well. He has a control over the golf ball. He's a center face striker where he's not going to be missing into the water. I think we're picking Ulberg to win this week, people. Okay? I love that pick. I really like that pick. We are picking Ludwig Ulberg to win. And that's plus 3,100. So you, my friends, are welcome right there. You are plus 3,100. So Ludwig Ulberg to win. Is Jordan in this tournament? I don't know if he got in from how he played today. I thought he did. Hell yeah, he did. So Jordan is in the tournament. So is Brooksy. I think he's the top 10. We're going to say a Jordan Spieth, a top 5 here. That's plus 940. I don't think there's a cut to this week. Oh, there is a cut. I lied. Alright, so we're going to say, is Keegan playing? So to make the cut, let's pick some people to make the cut. A little bit more out there. We're going to do Maximilius Homa make the cut. He's minus 156. And then since we're arguing on the major, I wanna give out Joel Damon. I do, but I don't know. He played so bad this week. Tommy, maybe. No, I don't like Tommy this week. Cam Young, no. Now, Minwoo Lee. Do like Minwoo, but he's gonna find some trouble with the water. So what my picks are for this week: Scotty Scheffler, top 5, minus 116. Ludwig Olbrich to win, plus 3,100. Jordan Spieth, top 5, plus 940. And Maximilius Homa to make the cut, plus 150. Is that plus 156? Or is that minus 156? Hold on. Homie. Maxi homies. Yeah, I think that was plus, people. I think I fucked that up. Yeah, minus 156. See, hand up. I fixed it before it was too late. So that last pick was my last pick of the week was then Max Homa to make the cut, minus 156. So, shout out Players Championship. I will be watching that all day Thursday, all day Friday, all day Saturday, and all day Sunday. And probably, I think it's supposed to be shitty next weekend. So, I will not be playing golf outdoors next weekend, at least. I forgot that was a great tournament last year with Rory winning that on that playoff Monday. Let's talk a little Australian Grand Prix. Because I gave out some winners, people. And again, I didn't write what these were because I'm stupid. And I should have wrote. Let's see what these pre-odds were. 2026 pre-odds. So George Russell to win was minus 400. So that wasn't. He said he was fast. Lando's podium was plus 450. And Charles' podium was minus 105. Alright. Good. See? Tracking. We're tracking better now, okay? So, Australian Grand Prix. First up, hand up. I don't know how it took so long for me to get into F1. I don't know why. Once I got canned and laid off, canned, fired, whatever you want to say, it's all the fucking same. They told me to fuck right off. I started watching Drive to Survive just because I was bored and needed something to do, a new show on Netflix to watch. And I became obsessed with F1. And you know what? That's where let's just say thank you, ADD or ADHD, whatever the fuck's wrong with my brain. Thank you. Because it lets you just fucking absolutely deep dive into a subject like you've never been able to deep dive before. And I just have been binge watching F1 content. And that dopamine hit you get when you find something new that you love, especially like a show, a sport, and you really it's so fun. If you don't have ADHD or ADD, whatever it is, you don't. Go ahead. Our special guest is ready. So let's keep going. Ryan should be here in a second. Until he gets here, we will keep going. So shout out to... Yeah, where was I? Oh, so... Hold on, we're pulling up the Australian Grand Prix. So I don't know how I haven't watched this before, because this was like, it was so fun. Now it was at night, right? It didn't start till 10 o'clock at night, which I don't think races usually does, just because it's in Australia. But I also really enjoyed the element of it, like, not being in my backyard. It was kind of cool, like, watching something being in Australia. I thought it was kind of cool, right? Like, it wasn't like we were watching something like Arnold Palmer, right? Where it's like, hey, this is just going down in Florida. It's going on halfway across the world. Then maybe it's because I was, smoking a little ganja. But I thought it was pretty crazy that it was the next day when we were watching it. I don't know why that made me so. Why I thought it was so crazy. But because we were watching it on. I was watching it Saturday, but for them, it was Sunday afternoon, which means right now, it's Monday afternoon for them. And I know if you maybe have a brain, or you're like not super, super dumb, maybe it comes second nature that time zones are a thing. But to be fully honest with you, time zones, they mess me up a little bit, right? Like, the fact that it's going to be, it's tomorrow, but it's really today. Like, if you were in a fast enough jet, is that time travel? We're going to ask our special guest when he gets on, okay? We will ask our special guest when that gets on, okay? Because he is supposed to be smart. So let's say, chat, we have 2 questions for our guest. Where are we in Australia? Oh yeah, time zones. So time zones do fuck me up. They're going to fuck me up more where they're in China this week. I will also be fucked up when they're in China. But it was fun. So, like, I didn't really understand how it kind of worked in totally before. Like, so they have testing. They do multiple testings. And then there's the quality. Oh, hold on, people. We have our special guest on the line. Can you hear me?
Oh, wow. That's right there. Holy shit.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I gotta take mine off this. Stop. Hide myself. So I'm gonna be on the other. Show myself. I don't want to see my own.
Well, you're recording a Zoom meeting. It's going to record both of us. That's just how Zoom works.
All right. You know what? What are you, some fucking Zoom expert here? Like, this is crazy.
I've used Zoom before.
What do you mean? Like, you sound like you work for Zoom and you understand every rule of Zoom.
Yeah, have you never recorded anything on Zoom before?
No, I haven't. I'm new to content. I'm bad at it. Okay.
This isn't content. You never been in a work meeting where you've had to record something on Zoom?
No, that's probably there's a reason I'm laid off. I was bad at my job.
That's true.
How's it go? Okay, so we have. I've been recording for about half an hour, so there's 2 questions we have the chat has for you.
You don't have a chat.
And by the chat, I mean my brain. I mean the voices in my head. But first, want to introduce who you are?
Yeah,
listener?
I'm Ryan. I'm unfortunately his brother.
Ha ha ha. Idiot.
I think that's really all probably anybody needs to know. I'm here begrudgingly. really just hoping that I can convince you to get an actual job at some point, because I really hate to see you lose your house because you think you're gonna make content and like make money off of golfing when you have 1,000 followers and it hasn't grown in 3 months of being unemployed.
Is the rest of the family about to log on to the Zoom too? We're about to do a podcast intervention.
No, I didn't tell anybody that I was here. I was pretty ashamed of it.
This is recorded though. It's gonna be online forever. Like it's gonna be in the title. Ryan Sutherland joins the show. How does it feel to be on How does it feel to be on the
use my full government name, and I'm going to DCMA you so fast.
How does it feel to be on the Kyle Sutherland show? Let's start. Okay, that's question one. How does it feel?
How does it feel that your show, none of the episodes have more than 8 views on them?
That's the first part. First of all, lie. The first one has like 80 views. They talk about getting fired, and people have always looked at it from work to see if they were going to sue me. So
yeah, the one you posted on LinkedIn, that makes sense.
Yeah. Exactly. I should post more on LinkedIn. Actually, LinkedIn's a good source for me.
There you go.
So shout out Ryan. Thanks for joining. He's going to be on the podcast a lot more because he reached out to me and texted me earlier this week. And said that he loves a podcast, loyal listener. Really wants to kind of get involved in the podcast, wants to be in the podcast. And I said, Ryan, that's good with me, buddy. Okay. So Ryan's going to be involved more. You guys are going to see him potentially twice a week. He's going to be on a show. No, that's not true. Because you're a child.
I'm an adult. Yes, I'm an adult who has a child. And
I wouldn't say you're an adult. I mean, let's calm down. Let's not calm down here and say you're an adult.
I'm an adult who has a life and a family and a job, most importantly. Yes. What the people that the 3 of our family members who watch this will quickly come to realize, or if anybody unfortunately stumbles upon this show on YouTube, is that they'll see me and they'll be like, oh my God, this guy actually thinks like he knows what he's talking about. He knows how to speak in complete sentences and like how to run a show.
That like?
It's because I actually do this for like my actual job and I get paid to do it. So
we're pre-revenue, brother. We're still in the early phases of this.
You're not like some sort of tech company.
ESPN started somewhere.
Yeah, on TV.
You don't think ESPN?
On national television.
Google started in someone's basement.
Yeah, and then the internet. It didn't exist.
I'm just saying.
You're the showrunner here, so hey.
I'm running the show.
Yeah,
we're
the show.
What are talking about? We're literally what we're talking about right here.
I figured that you weren't going to have any topics to talk about because I've watched like maybe 10 minutes of the episodes before. So I knew there wasn't going to be anything that you were ever going to like actually plan to talk about.
No,
so
there's two things.
I brought in topics.
Fuck you. Throw those away. I have two. There's 2 questions the chat has for you. Would you like the smart one or the dumb one first?
The smart one.
The smart one? I don't know which one's. So would you like the golf one or the dumb one?
Oh, God. Golf, I guess.
Okay. So, do you know the Players' Championship this week's coming up? Do you know what the Players' Championship is?
Did not know that.
Do you know what the Players' Championship is?
It's a golf tournament, right?
Okay, do you know that's the big with the big metal gold guy, right? Big metal gold guy that's on the. You've seen him. The championship's a big metal gold guy,
and that's Michael Jordan.
No, this is the edge of 17. Remember, there's a big 17 green. That's a circle. It's on the water.
Yeah, a lot of courses have water.
Okay, get off this fucking podcast. You know what I mean? This fucking loser. So famous golf tournament. Is the Players' Championship the 5th major? That's what everyone's been asking.
Sure, I guess. I would like to enter into the argument that there are no majors. They're all just golfing. And it's just a bunch of people who show up and play a bunch of holes. Like the only one that really matters, I guess you could say, is the Masters.
Okay, why does the Masters?
They're all just golf tournaments.
Why does the Masters matter?
Because of like the ceremony. The Masters matters in the same way that like the Olympics does. Where it's like there's ceremony, there's something going on with it. The rest of them are
You're gonna
just
hate
golf. So
watching
they
this
call them
podcast.
majors, but it's just a golf match. It's the golf match. It's no different than any other tournament.
It's the elevated, it's the pomp and circumstance of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could argue that there's really like golf doesn't have any big anythings because that nobody's playing for anything realistically
What
in
is
terms of a season.
Augusta?
Like it's not like football, right? Where you have to have a schedule and you win and you earn your way towards something like
That's
playoff. Golf is just like you show up and like I play,
well,
and like
no, I
sometimes you make
mean
it,
there is
sometimes
the
you had to take
Aeon
a
next
dump
swing
during your second
5.
round and you didn't make it, so it doesn't matter anymore.
There is the Aeon next swing 5 and the next swing, or is the Aeon swing 10? Might be the swing 10. And that's the next people that once you qualify for FedEx Cup points. Now, FedEx Cup points don't mean anything anymore because they've done that. So really, you can have the most FedEx Cup points, and that means nothing. But it does mean something to get into tournaments. Makes sense?
Golf needs like a season. Like you can rather than every tournament, and tennis has this same problem. So it's just country club sports in general, where it's like every tournament is its own little self-contained unit. They all need to build together with like the culmination, the Super Bowl being like the Masters.
You are hitting on
the best
what
people.
So you're hitting on exactly what the PGA Tour on. So you don't know probably who Matt Roloff. Brian or Matt Roloff. He was the guy behind Roger Goodell. So he was Roger Goodell's number 2 guy for like the last 10 years. He came over from the NFL and is now the head of PGA Tour just of last year. And him and Tiger right now are revamping how the tour season, the schedule works. And like exactly what you just said, they're looking to make something that like we come to build, and it like builds kind of like what F1 does, right? F1 builds, you have to win every single race, but then at the end of the season, you win the championship and you want to win the championship.
Yeah.
People don't give a shit about winning the FedEx Cup.
No.
Do you know what the
thing
FedEx
that matters to them is they win money.
But
when they win money, it's like, oh, okay, cool.
How little do you care about money?
Depending on how you place, you should get like points. And then when you accumulate enough points, then there's a threshold, and that gets you into like
that's what it is.
Whatever, call it the 5 majors if you want.
That's what it is right now. That's legitimately what it is right now. But nobody gives a shit. And people win the FedEx Cup. And could you name me one FedEx Cup winner? No.
Here's what you do then. You take all of the money out of every tournament that's not the whatever, like playoffs or whatever you want to end up calling it at like the end of a season. So you don't win any money. Okay. And the only way that you win money is you have to win enough to qualify to get into the playoffs, or you win like a nominal amount of money.
You make money. Now
they give you like $40 and like a hot dog at the turn. And then then if you get in the playoffs, then you can win and the real money, anything that matters.
That's that's a little bit where they went, because really, I mean, this is really the whole. I mean, now if you want to really start an hour and a half podcast,
no, I don't. I really would rather not talk about golf this whole time.
We start talking about live, because the next question is going to be a much longer question. We started talking about like that's really why live started, right? Because they started wanting to have other elevated events. They don't want to play at every event. They wanted to only play a couple of events, and they wanted to make the money for those events as big. So it's a whole thing, but it's a good, because I think you are a good like. What would you
I don't
say?
care about golf.
Perfect. You're welcome to the golf podcast. Where would you say your interest is on golf right now?
0.
Let's say, because I think we grew up. Would you say we were probably pacing the same at golf for a while, right? Maybe 4th. You're a year and a half younger than I am. So let's say, Mom used to take us to the driving range, and for a while, I think we were probably playing the same amount of golf, right? I don't think we ever not play golf if the other one was not playing golf until a point. Maybe what?
Yeah, it was pretty much the same.
High school, maybe. Probably.
Yeah, it was probably pretty much the same until, because even it's not like we played very much when we were like either one of us was in college. It was probably
college.
But like college courses, right? It was probably sometime after that, because I got a life and I had
I
like
knew
things to do.
I knew you were. Well, it's really more the wife is really what the problem is. Is that on a Saturday you can't spend 8 hours, like 4 hours, like an hour
Yeah,
prepping for the
if we're gonna
round,
talk the
8 hours
problems
out.
of golf, that's the biggest. It's too long of a time commitment. Like I have things to do. I have like
You,
people to see, places to go. I
yeah,
can't
a
go
daughter.
spend, an entire day just what like as nice
Legit.
as nature is. I just can't spend an entire day outdoors, like
That
just golfing. Like that's why there's a great argument to be made for like 12 holes is the
okay,
perfect
big
amount
bet.
of golf. You put the turn at 6, and then you can complete it in like 2.5, 3 hours max in and
Yeah,
out.
yeah. You can a short round would be like an hour and a half.
Yeah,
Should be like
perfect.
a movie, like going to the movies.
Yes, like going to a movie. That's perfect.
Now you got a 90-minute round, or
Perfect.
they should. How about what if we just pay for how long you want to go? If
Paper
I want
hole.
paper hole, if I want
Make
to
it
say if
like a
I want
Dave and Buster's. You gotta swipe
maybe
your card and then you get to play the hole.
that's a good idea. That's a great idea. Now we're talking. Get Brian Roll up on the phone. We got some ideas.
Yep.
Imagine
All
you
right. So
had.
I'm not talking about golf this whole time. So
Okay,
I
okay.
brought my own
Hey,
topics because I'm gonna just hijack this because mine are better
can,
than talking
can
about
I ask
golf
you
all the
my
time.
second question? Can I ask you my second question first? I have two questions I prep for you.
Yeah,
I
sure.
prep. I prep two things. Let me do them. Okay.
Two things. A lot of prep.
Okay. So this week was the Australian Grand Prix, right? F1 Grand Prix, right? My newest EDD addiction. It hitting the dopamine hard, right? So it blew my mind that, and maybe it's because of the weed, that I was sitting in my house on Sunday night at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night, and it was Sunday afternoon for these people in Australia with the time change. And I know that's how the globe works and time works,
Yep.
but how is it not time travel? And so here's the question that the chat wanted to ask me to ask you. If we could develop a fast enough jet that I could at 10 o'clock at night could jump like up into my jet, fly it to the Australian Grand Prix, land, jump back in, fly back here, is that not time travel?
No, because time is still going. Like the time zones are and like the time, like the clock, like our AM, PM, whatever, like it still continues. So you can't go backwards.
It's not going backwards, but I would actively be us at Saturday night. I could go to Sunday afternoon and I could be back by Sunday morning.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
just time
exactly.
zones. It's not time travel. It's just you're going to a different
Exactly.
time zone. Like you could make the same argument for like if you went over the border in Indiana and then
That's
you
way
walked
different.
over the
Way different.
time zone line, you're like, hey, now it's an hour later, and then you just
But
walk
that's an
back and like, oh,
hour.
I
That's
just
not the
time travel.
same.
Like that's just time
Okay.
zones.
Well, I'm sitting and watching people that are living a different day. Like if they were to
Yeah, but
ask how is
it's just because it's a
Saturday,
time zone difference, and it's
but
just how the
they're
globe works and it circles and like the sun rises in some places before others because it's like spinning. So
okay,
like the sun hits first because it spins and then it gets around to
but
us
so but why can't they tell me what happens on Monday right now?
because
Because
it's the same time.
they're already done with Monday.
Yeah, because they're like
So
they're
tell me
through
what
here.
happens.
Yeah, because for them that's just like how the globe's spinning.
But why
Because
can't they
it's
tell me
not
what
happening
happens
at
on
different
Monday?
points it's not like their Monday's happening and then like our like the two things are happening concurrently.
No, it's not. Right now it's Sunday night right here, and it's Monday
Yes.
afternoon in Australia.
Right, because this like it's because of where it is on the planet, it's already
I
risen.
understand that, dumbass.
I
How
don't
do you
think
not?
you do because you think that they
How
could
do you
tell you
not
what happens in the
understand what I'm
future.
saying? This is what I mean. You're bought by big time right now. You don't understand it. Like,
No,
take
that's
off
just
the
not a thing.
sunglasses.
That's just how the planet works and just like the rising of the sun and like the way that the sun is not that's just the globe
So,
spinning.
if just answer the question, If I take the
No,
jet,
it's not time travel. Because
I
even
don't.
like
How
let's say
is it
you
not
could
time
have a
travel?
jet that would get you there in 5 minutes. If
Okay,
you went
perfect.
there in
That's what I'm
5 minutes, you came back another 5 minutes. Back here would still be 10 minutes after you left. So it's
But
not time travel at all.
I'm
Because of
going,
time zones, the day would change. But as far as like
but I would
you
live
have a
two
24-hour
Mondays.
clock, you're still 5 minutes
But I would
further
live
than
two
when you were.
Mondays.
What?
I could live two Monday afternoons.
You
I
could.
could
That's
see
just
the
how time
same
zones and days work
Monday
because of the
at,
spinning of the globe.
but I'm okay. But how is then not? Why can't I just go spin further back and go another 3 days back?
Because it doesn't work. That's not how time works. It doesn't
Yeah.
just
Okay.
go
Hold
in
on.
like
Okay.
a
Okay.
circle.
Okay.
You would
Hold
just
on.
go
Hold on.
around.
Hold on.
If you
Yeah,
went
hold
all the way
on.
back
Hold on. Hold on.
around
Hold on.
again,
Hold on.
you'd
Hold on.
hit it
Hold on.
back
Hold on.
on
Hold on.
their side when
That
it's like
last question was
Wednesday.
really stupid. I understand that last question was stupid. But the first question, I stand by. That is time travel. I could live two Mondays. They
It's
know
not.
what's already like the Monday sports in Australia have already happened, so they know what's
You
happened.
only think this because at some point in time somebody said, "Hey, we're just going to name the days." If you're just going like if you think about it instead off of like a just time is just going forward. Like at
Wait,
some point
hold on, slow
arbitrarily,
down.
we're not arbitrarily. We just said, "Hey, every 24 hours, like
Who
the
named it?
sunrise is any one given point in time." Like so at some point, somebody just arbitrarily put days on that. You're only thinking it's time travel because of days, but
I have a
24-hour clock just
question.
keeps going.
I have a question. Who named the days?
I don't know.
Who
I don't
decided
know.
it's Monday?
Yeah, whoever invented the calendar.
And what was there before
Romans,
Monday?
probably.
Bones?
No, Romans, probably.
Oh, yeah,
If I had to guess, it'd be Rome, or that you could go back even further and say like maybe
Mesopotamia,
Egypt or something.
Israelites.
At some point, yeah, could have been.
Uh, so those are my questions.
Oh, okay.
What did you prep for the show?
Um,
This is
Toasting Pop-Tarts is the wrong way to eat Pop-Tarts.
correct.
Yes. You and I both have this same particular type of growth trauma because our father
Wait.
refused to
What does it mean,
purchase
growth trauma?
well like trauma from our childhood
What?
because
But why? You're gonna go ahead and say that grilling Pop Tarts and unfrosted are bad, and that would have resulted in trauma. I'm saying
no, I'm
everyone
saying
else
we
has
both
trauma.
are going to say that toasting Pop-Tarts is wrong
It
because we
is.
were both raised by a father who said he refused to buy frosted Pop-Tarts because he was afraid the frosting was going to melt off in the toaster.
Is that why he didn't buy frosted Pop Tarts?
That's exactly why he wouldn't buy
I thought
frosted
he thought that
Pop-Tarts.
he said the frosted ones were gay.
No, he said he said the frosting would melt off in the toaster and then it would break the toaster.
Well, why did we need to toast it then?
We never toasted it. That was the thing.
But why couldn't we buy frosted Pop Tarts then? But
Yeah,
we
probably
didn't
because we were
toast the
fat.
Pop Tarts.
Yeah, I don't know. It's probably from like hey, that's like sugar. You don't need to eat frosting
Okay,
for breakfast. You're already fat.
I like
But
to
also
think.
like
Let's roll it. Why are they trying to get us to toast Pop Tarts?
apparently that's how Pop Tart wants them to be consumed. But this is what I'm saying. Toasting Pop Tarts is the wrong way to eat them. Like that's just too much effort. I'm not gonna get the toaster out and like toast them. I'm just
What do
gonna
you even
pop it open.
toast
I'm gonna eat
nowadays?
it.
How often do you toast anything nowadays?
Bread, and toast, like
I guess.
yeah,
Is there
waffles.
anything else that's named like this is exactly what it does, but for the one thing? This toast bread, and we call it a toaster. And now there's a million things. You're not toasting waffles.
You
Why is
toast
it?
waffles,
But okay, but you don't.
cook
You
them.
toast bread.
Technically, though, you could toast also in like what's like the small oven on a countertop called
Conventional
a
oven.
toaster oven.
No, that's not right.
It's called a toaster oven. Yeah, you could toast things in there. Toaster oven.
I don't think that's right.
But you can also toast things in a full oven. It just takes longer and it's
I've
less efficient
never.
because it
Okay,
takes so much longer to heat up.
that's another good question. How many of buttons on your oven have you used?
All of them. What do you
No,
mean?
you haven't. Don't
I've used
lie.
every button on
You're
there.
such a liar. You
Actually,
every
that's not true.
single
The only one I
Yes.
haven't used is the self-cleaning button.
Yes. No one has ever. I was going to say that no one has ever self-cleaned their oven. Now, how does that
So I
work?
looked that up actually the other day.
It's like a
Apparently, what
vagina.
happens is the oven like locks the door and gets to like 1,000 degrees, like turn food and like grease and stuff, and it's just like an ash, and you have to wipe it up.
You looked this up?
Yeah, I looked it up because I wanted to know what the self-cleaning button
They
did.
have it has death mode.
Yes.
It turns into a nuclear bomb.
Yep. It gets to 800 to 1,000 degrees, and then that like
That
turns
seems
all the
insane.
stuff that's left inside there into ash, so you can just like wipe it up.
Okay. So
But
I've
still
never
requires
done,
you to wipe it up. But
but
it
have
says
you
it removes a lot of the necessity to like scrub.
why did you look this up?
I want to know what the button did.
Okay. Why have you ever broiled?
Yeah.
What does broiling do?
Broiling, like, so the right where the heat's coming out at the top, you'll have like fire coming out of it, and you put stuff in there. It can like either keep like get things really hot, like really fast, or if you have something like, let's say, like with cheese on it, then it can like kind of get the cheese a little like caramelizing on the top.
All right. I'm gonna say hand up. And this is not for the podcast. This is completely honest. I thought broiling was a much different thing.
Oh no.
I thought broiling was a quick boiling.
Well, you're gonna put water in there and then like it would just boil it faster?
I don't know. I never understood it, right? I always thought that boiling.
Boiling is where you make water hot. Broiling is like a fire oven thing.
I thought that was like a fast way to heat up. I don't know. Like, I wasn't obviously water, but like a liquid. You put like a liquid in like a stew or like a porridge.
No, it's for like heating or like melting things. You broil it. Like you can broil vegetables and stuff, and it's just like really hot, and then it gets to like it's a way to cook stuff. You're like broiled chicken.
No, never done that. I go to Portillo's.
Anyway, yeah, toasting Pop-Tarts
broiled chicken. This is where you could tell this is
regular Pop-Tarts is just perfectly fine. Moving on to the next one.
Well, hold on. Before you move on, I did not think these were your. Are the rest of the questions in a similar, let's say, vein or?
They're all kind of just out there.
Category, but none of them are about golf or.
No, none whatsoever.
So this is
because clearly that's not working for you. So we need a different angle. I tried to think of things that you could use as engagement bait.
Clip farming.
Like, make clips for. Because that's how you drive like views onto stuff.
Yeah. So here at the Kyle Sutherland show. Oh, you want to know something where I spent some money on this week?
God, why are you spending money? You don't have money.
Ready? Look at this. A Lego.
When you end up homeless, you're not living in my house.
Look at
because this is how you're choosing to spend the money you don't have.
Look at this Lego McLaren car. Look how cool this is.
Wow. Okay, moving on. Nintendo just re-released Pokemon Fire Red and
Nerd console
for the Switch.
Nerd console.
I fired back up the old Game Boy Advance to pull out some Pokemon Fire Red to get some nostalgia going in here. And what I've come to find out is that there are people in this world who, when they play Pokemon, actually use the moves that don't do damage.
There's so many questions I have in this.
Right.
How did you find this out?
Team or like growl or tail whip. There are people who do that to like affect the stats.
How did you find this out?
I was playing Pokemon and they have all of these moves.
All right.
And I was like, hey, I just get rid of them because if it doesn't do damage, it's not worth it to me. Because the whole point of Pokemon is to make the other Pokemon's HP go to 0. So like, what am I gonna? I'm gonna do Swords Dance.
But, and then they're like, how did you find this out?
Like defense.
Was this this wasn't? They don't tell you this in the Pokemon game.
Well, they don't explain it, but
Correct.
It is like if
so that's what I'm asking. Who is telling you this that nobody uses these things?
So this is stuff I saw on TikTok then, because as I get into the algorithm of like Pokemon things, people
Okay.
are like,
I
hey,
gotcha. I
you
gotcha.
do this status affecting move, and then it's like easier to defeat this. And I said, no, I got rid of that.
I don't like the
forever ago.
nerding effect of Pokemon. Let us just play. Like, why is it? Pokemon was not like you didn't know which of the moves did the most damage. You just knew which
Exactly.
moves sounded cool.
Yes.
Don't nerdify. It's already nerdy enough. You don't need to
Right.
make
I
it
wanted to do
extra nerd.
flamethrower.
Correct.
Earthquake.
Or stomp.
Stomp. Great one. Slash. Wing attack.
Slash. Great one. So can we
I
just
don't want to do tail whip.
talk a little bit
I
more
want to do
about
mud slap.
you brought back out the Game Boy Advanced for this?
Yep.
The old school one?
Fired up Pokemon Fire Red. I grabbed my Charmander right off the bat, and we headed out, and we just started training. And I was slaughtering Caterpies to get it up to levels, and then just fighting my way through. But there are people who do, and like apparently there's a competitive Pokemon scene, as I'm finding out.
That's
through looking at people doing this, and they like use like status affecting moves and stuff. I'm like, no, you go full in with as much attack as possible until the other Pokemon faints. And then if yours goes away, oh well, move on to the next one who's going to do more damage. But there's people who will not only use status effects, but will look up and say,
I got it. That camera just turned off.
Cool. They'll look up and they'll say, hey, I know that the type of Pokemon they're using is weak to this other type, so I'm going to switch out my Pokemon. No, we go with complete brute force to just take their HP to 0. That's the whole point of Pokemon. And there are people who are playing it in this other way that I think is wrong, because you go the pure brute force method. That's the exact right way to play Pokemon. I'm going to keep going because he's on a free account that is going to run out at some point here. At Chili's, when you order a skillet queso,
we have 10 minutes left.
Chili's.
Wait. Before we move on, I just want to say, okay, you started this by saying you don't have time to do things because you're a dad, and you're an adult, and you're old. Where is the Pokemon time being from the rest of this time? Well, it's not what it sounds like. If you have time to play Pokemon,
this is me playing for 5 minutes and then I scroll TikTok while I'm in the bathroom.
If you have time to play Pokemon,
so it's like 45 minutes a day that I get to learn stuff.
Sounds like you're doing a lot of research. That time could be playing golf. Just saying.
Why would I waste my time playing golf?
I'm just saying.
Listen. I have like 45 minutes of free time a day. It's all in the bathroom, and that's when I learn things about the world. Moving on.
Okay,
we have Chili's.
We have 8 minutes left.
Skillet queso. You get way more skillet queso in restaurant than if you order takeout for it, and it's a scam. They charge the same amount, but the amount that they give you in the takeout is next to nothing. If you actually go to the restaurant, you're eating skillet queso until your stomach hurts.
Good take. How is it back? I swore off Chili's when they got rid of the skillet queso, and everyone
made like a big stink about it because it was gone and it was better. And then Chili's brought out their new queso that, to be fair, was fine. Like I tried it, and it was. But here's the thing: it tasted just like the Tostitos. Like no free ads, but like the Tostitos, just yellow jar of
the
queso.
Bean dip one.
No, not the bean dip, just the regular whatever.
Yeah, I got
but like the yellow jar of queso, it tasted like that.
Yeah.
So like it wasn't bad queso, but it was like they had a queso that was good that they got rid of. So then everyone made a big stink about it, and then like a month later, Chili's was like, "Hey, apparently we messed up, and now we're gonna have both on the menu." And I don't know why there'd be anybody ordering the other one now that skillet queso is available.
And I feel like they deserve to be punished and me not to be there for a couple months. I'm also poor, so I'm not sure I can afford to go to Chili's. That's the other thing.
That's very true. Yes, but it is a ripoff if you go and you order it takeout because they give you way less skillet queso. So that's a bummer because I was in Chili's and like you order it and you get just
getting
a whole
Chili's to go.
Sometimes you want to eat at home.
I feel like Chili's is either you're eating a to-go place or you're going to Chili's.
You could pick up Chili's. It travels decently well.
I guess, but it just feels like a weird thing. I feel like you want the endless chips. Like half
The
the
only
reason I'm going
thing,
there is because
well,
then
like
there's
even
no
if you take it to
chips.
go, they give you a huge bag of chips that like it's not like you're gonna eat that. Like there's no way you could eat an entire bag.
You also have a kid, so you have to
But like
also.
you get a bag of it, and it's not like you're gonna eat an entire bag of chips. This like massive bag. They give you actually like more than you would
Speak
have
for yourself.
if you had like a just the basket that they bring around to your table.
Uh,
But it travels decently
but
well. Plus, the only thing that I would say you can't get to go from Chili's is fajitas
that's
because you
true.
have to have the
You
experience of
have
like
the
the sizzling
sizzling.
platter
sizzling.
that comes
Okay,
out.
I may try to go to Chili's this week then, and may just get the skillet queso.
Worth it.
That may be the only
Worth
thing.
it.
I'm on a budget, so the only thing I'm able to afford is the skillet queso.
Did you know
Oh,
too that the sizzling fajitas is all it's a lie. It's a fraud.
yeah, they put water on it before it
Yeah.
goes out.
It's just a hot
But hold on,
plate that they
hold
put
on.
water on.
That's hopefully a potential sponsor. Let's not totally trash these guys.
I'm not saying it's bad.
That's
I'm just saying
no.
like
We're hoping one day that in this, you guys see right here, this little corner right down here, it says presented by Chili's. That would how cool would that? Okay,
it'd be pretty sick.
if we're talking about dreams for the podcast, dream sponsors, Chili's is one of those sponsors.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay. Any
Yeah.
other questions? We got
Yeah.
5 minutes
How much
left.
time is
Okay.
left on your free recording? What does it
5 minutes
say?
left.
How much?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay. Here's my show recommendations
Let's hear
for
it.
for TV shows.
Oh,
Later
I
this
thought
month.
you were gonna meant my show.
No, I don't want your recommendations. People don't want yours. I'm the guest. Did you ever watch
Sure.
Jury Duty on? I think it was on Prime.
No.
You should actually. So the whole premise was they like had this guy and they like gave him a like summons for jury duty
Okay.
to like come sit on a court. Everybody else, like including like
I
the
think I saw
defendants, like
this.
all the people in the case, all of the other people
Yeah,
were
yeah,
all
yeah.
actors.
I think I started somebody there talking about this. Maybe it might have been KFC ready before they stopped.
So it was great. The show was phenomenal, and it's like well worth the watch because it's just this guy and he's like the nicest dude in the world, but they have all these actors that put them in these just insane situations. But then like you hear interviews talk about it, and they'll say that the weird stuff you would see on the show had to be also sandwiched in between just like regular court proceedings so that this guy wouldn't be like, hey, I think there's something's weird going on. So they would say like when they were filming and because they did this whole show, it'd be like hours of just like regular courtroom stuff that's like super boring.
Oh, so wait,
And
this is real.
this is
not
real.
a show.
It was like a real
Oh,
person.
so it's like a mockumentary?
Kind of. Yeah.
Like, okay. But it's
Yeah.
like a
So that all being said, there's a second season of it now coming.
okay.
Same sort of premise, but it's like a guy that apparently looks like he's like hired as like a videographer to go on like a company retreat for this like small company. And same sort of idea where it's just
it's the same. Okay, so it's not a
insanity.
jury, but it's almost like what was that show with that movie with Jim Carrey? No, was it Jim Carrey? Truman Show.
Yeah,
The little
it's very
Truman
Truman Show.
Show-ish. Okay.
Yeah, where everyone else knows it's a show, but you don't. It's exactly like
Um,
the Truman Show. Yeah.
Okay, 30 seconds. I have a couple questions for you. But did you watch the new? I haven't watched yet, but did you watch the new Game of Thrones thing tonight?
There's not one tonight.
Oh, is it over?
Yep.
Oh, it's over.
Ended a few weeks ago.
Oh, is that the one that everyone was really hyped about? Was that the last one for the
Yeah,
season?
Night of the Seven Kingdoms. It was really good.
Okay. So I'll have to
Worth
watch that. I've watched that. House of Dragon, I think, comes like this summer.
Yeah, I think in June. I think it comes out.
We'll have to do that. That would be good.
Yep.
That would be good. If maybe we do that. I know we used to sit in that basement and watch that. Maybe we do a podcast after and do a little pre-recap of the show down there too.
This show of yours really just has no premise, does it?
No premise whatsoever. So then question 2 is I have 2 more questions. I know. How are you doing? I know one of our two of our favorite podcasts are now over. Was our 2 favorite podcasts was KFC Radio.
Mhm.
How are you doing in post KFC Radio era without them being on twice a week? I know that was one of my favorite to walk the dog during.
It was one of the ones I used to listen to all the time. That was nice. I would usually not finish other shows, and so I would like not get to an entire one of those because I didn't have a different one that I just kind of like bounce between them. So now it actually gives me opportunities to finish other shows.
I would say that too.
I've filled a little bit of my time with just silence
I don't like.
instead
I've
of like
not.
another show.
I have done the opposite. I fill it with more golf shows and my own shows.
There
So
you go.
that was my question. So any new podcasts? That was the next question. And I followed it. Any new podcasts you've got then?
For the Dads is really good. Shout out to Will Compton
Oh, I
with
hate Will
the
Compton.
Bussin'
He's a
universe.
loser. He's a loser. Will's
They
a fucking
that's
loser.
been a really good show. They just talk about fatherhood and that type of stuff. So that's a really good show if you have kids.
Don't have kids. So then we had a minute left. Bears. How you feeling on the news from this week? Tough DJ Moore, tough Ozzy. No, Ozzy Drapilla obviously is done. Drew
Yeah,
Dalman's
he's
retirement.
out. We'll see how free agency goes. Like we've got enough offensive weapons that I don't like losing DJ sucks because he was really good, but hopefully we've got some other weapons that are on rookie contracts that can be solid, and fill up space. So
Okay.
I'm happy for DJ because he's going to like a good situation. I think between like Loveland and Burden and Adunze, I think we've got plenty of places for Caleb to throw the ball as long as those guys like stay healthy. So,
Perfect. Last question. We have 30 seconds left. Any thoughts on the Cubs this year?
I haven't really started to pay attention to it. I mean, they had a good season last year, so hopefully they can build on it.
Another 2 or 3 weeks before we're going to dive in here at opening day.
But I just put you on speakerphone really quick. You can just say, well, just that. So that's Cubs in. So well, anyway, that was it. That was my grab bag. I didn't have anything else. So thank you very much for coming on the podcast, Ryan. Very much appreciated. What?
I mean, anytime. So
you said you're coming on anytime. Is that what you just said?
Nope.
Thanks. You guys can't hear it because he's on the phone now, but he said he'd come on any time to the podcast. So we will love to have him play some golf on a Sunday and then come on the podcast on the Sunday night. That sounds fantastic. That's a good 8 to 9 hour commitment. So I appreciate that. So thank you for Ryan to be on the podcast. Anything else before I hang up on you? No? Hello?
Hello?
Anything else? Hello? This idiot's gone. See you later. That was a lot of buffoonery. We've gone a podcast today, people. We've gone a full podcast today. That whole half an hour thing, we've just took that, blown it right by, and are into the hour plus mark. So I apologize. I fully apologize, but thanks for listening. If you have made it this far, please make sure you are subscribed. Put a comment in there. If you have made it this far in a podcast, you clearly do not hate me. And if you do, you have hate watched. So put more comments in there so then you could get some more hate in there. And if you like me, even this far, please put some comments. It does a ton for the algorithm. And please subscribe and tell 5 friends to subscribe so we can start making money doing this. We get back into Australia. I want to talk about Australia, the Australian Grand Prix, because that was it was so fun. So, obviously, I think a lot of this thought was that Mercedes is going to have the fast car, and that's what it came out in qualifying. That's what it looked like, and in the race, it was great start with a battle between right back and forth of Leclerc and Russell. Hamilton kind of made way up to third. By the end of the day, I think Mercedes was the faster car than anyone even probably was anticipating, I would imagine. They were flying. So I think it would be, and it's also with a lot of new regulations. I don't think everyone else has the same, and I don't really understand it totally, but I don't think everyone else has the same regulations. So, or has the same maybe access to test the car as much in the beginning phase as the manufacturers do. So it does take a little bit more time on it. So it was interesting to see they head out this week to China. I don't know where in China. That's a big country. And then they race 2 a.m. So that'll be a fun race time next week. Let's grade my picks first of all. Number 1, Charles Leclerc minus 400, so that's not bad. Lando was, I think, finished 5, and then Leclerc was number 3. So first 1, 2 for 3 people. That's not bad. China Grand Prix. P1. I mean, it's hard to argue that the Mercedes is not going to be as fast. Seems like Max was doing well, and he was driving angry. He crashing in qualifying. So we're going to say Max. P1, Max. P2 is Russell. P3 is Hamilton. Why? Because I don't know. Because I decided to. Let's find these odds, people. So Max to win is plus 900. And the race. There's another ones out there, but we're going to say Max Verstappen to win P1. That's at plus 900 right now for this in the Chinese Grand Prix. So, that we have gone very long today. Shout out TGL. So that's one more thing we'll talk about is TGL was awesome this week. They came down to my boys, Jupiter Lynx, remember third generation Jupiter Lynx fan. They lost Sunday, right? We recorded, and then they had to win Tuesday. So it came down. If you're a TGL fan, you've definitely seen the clip. But Tom Kim came down to 1 point, having to make it get close to the hole. Tom Kim dunks it in the hole, makes an ace to go up 1. Akshay, winner of this week, wins the week before, comes down. Kevin Kisner at 18 gets up and down, makes birdie, wins it. Jupiter goes to the playoffs. So that was awesome to see them, to kind of see the boys. They seemed like they were taking it a little bit more seriously. It sucks, obviously, Tiger not playing, but it's great to see Tiger involved with the rest of the boys in the whole thing. So very fun, obviously, that ways. But I think the playoffs, start maybe this week or next week. So we'll be hopefully amped up for the little TGL playoffs here. But we are running very long today, so this is going to be the end of the Kyle Sutton Show. Please remember, like, comment, subscribe 1,000,000 times over. And thank you guys for watching today. We'll see you next